Manifesting your reality is a lot simpler than you think. Not easy, simple. But by understanding the simplicity of it, you will then be able to go down the right path and go towards actually how it works. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how it works and why most of the ways that people are telling you how it works feels so wrong to you and doesn't really bring you any results. First of all, the reason it feels so wrong to you is because it's wrong. But let's get into it. Manifestation is never off. It's not like, oh, I'm going to manifest now, but not later. It's like gravity. It's a continuous thing that's constantly working, constantly on all the time. The whole concept of meditating and the reason why we meditate is to become familiar with yourself. I don't mean the self here, the physical self. I mean the non-physical part of you, the conscious part of you, the consciousness that you are. The way that we interact with this 3D reality is with our 5 senses. We can touch something, we can smell something, we can hear something, we can see something, we can taste something. That is how you are interacting with the 3D reality. If you touch something, you're like, ooh, look at that. If you smell something, you're like, oh, you see something, you're like, whoa. But if you lose one of those senses, like if you go blind, you can't see anymore. And essentially, you're not able to interact with this 3D reality through your sense of sight, but you're still here. If you lose all your senses, you won't be able to interact with the 3D reality. So you won't even know what is happening in the 3D reality, what's happening to you or outside of you, but you're still here. You'll still be able to think. So when we meditate, what we're actually doing is becoming familiar with the part of ourselves that will still be here if we remove all of the senses that we have, which is the most you that you are. This is why we close our eyes when we meditate, because we're removing the distraction of sight in order to be able to focus more on who we are. Same with music. I put headphones in to remove the distractions of all the noises around me and focus on one sound, which will help me go further in. That part of you, the most you that you are, the consciousness that you are, that is the part of you that is manifesting reality. Your entire reality is expanding out of you. And the reason why people say it's a mirror of you is because it's expanding out of you. So what's expanding out of you will then mirror you because it's you. Now, in terms of manifesting the reality that you want, a lot of the people will be like, all right, your thoughts create your reality. And yeah, that's true, but it's not a full truth. It's not a true representation of what's actually going on. It's your beliefs that's actually creating your reality. Your beliefs are using thoughts to create your reality. And a thought that's thought over and over again eventually becomes a belief. So if I have beliefs and the experiences we've had throughout our lives have created unconscious core beliefs that we have that we are completely unaware of. We are many parts. We are not one part. We are multiple personalities. And most of our personalities or parts are completely unconscious to us because we had to reject them in experiences that we've had in the past as a way to stay safe in those moments. And they are us. That's all happening in the non-physical part of you, the consciousness part of you. The consciousness part of you is the part that is multiple parts, multiple personalities. And the human being, the emotional human being in the 3D reality is your avatar that the consciousness parts of you are driving in this 3D reality in. And because they are all you, they are all playing a role in manifesting the reality that you are experiencing. So how do you manifest the reality that you want? You understand all of these parts of yourself. You integrate all of the parts of yourself that you are unaware of. You bring them in with love instead of pushing them away and rejecting them, which is what we've learned to do because of the experiences we've had. But you're doing this unconsciously. You're not doing anything wrong. This is just the way that it works. This is why self-awareness is so important. In order to manifest the reality you want, you have to learn how to become more self-aware. You have to raise your awareness, because then that will get you to the parts of yourself that you are unconscious of that are playing a role in manifesting the reality that you are in. This whole concept of you need to just focus on the positive and ignore the negative is incorrect, because that leads to rejection. And you're already rejecting these parts of you. It's what led you to where you are. So it doesn't make sense to reject them again as a way to get out of what you're trying to get out of. It's exactly the opposite of most people people's advice. Yes, there's an element of turning your focus away from catastrophizing and ruminating as part of your journey, but it's not like if I want to manifest a car, I'm just going to think of, I'm going to get this car, I'm going to get this car, I'm going to get this car. Because there are so many parts of you that believe that you're not good enough for a car. You believe that you're not good enough to have the wealth to be able to get that car. And your beliefs are what's creating your reality. So the simplicity of how to manifest the desired reality that you want is by learning how to go towards these parts of yourself, understanding their pain, understanding what they've been through. And through that exploration, discovering the unmet needs that these parts of you have, because we are creatures of needs, learning how to meet those needs in a healthier way, which will eventually lead you to not abandoning yourself, being able to stick to your boundaries, which then leads you to eventually being able to find your worth and feeling that worth, not just knowing it here, but knowing it here. When you get to those stages, then your reality starts shifting, integrating the parts of yourself that carry the core beliefs that I'm not good enough, I'm unworthy, I'm unlovable, I am not chosen, I'm alone, along with tools and skills like affirmations to be able to create new beliefs that you want to align with, doing both of them along with each other, and all the tools and tricks in the toolbox that you can find in terms of things that actually work on this journey. If you focus on your internal world and how to actually heal and integrate these parts of yourself, your reality will shift on its own. This whole concept that you need to constantly focus on the positive and ignore the negative and just be like, no, I have this car, I have this job, I am loved, just constantly like that, that is not a way to live. What's it going to be like? What, for 4 years, I'm just going to constantly be waking up and focusing all of my focus on just aligning with certain thoughts and not other thoughts? That is no way to live. The amount of stress that puts on your body is insane. And you're rejecting these parts of yourself that are going to manifest as disease. Learning how to raise your self-awareness is the biggest starting point, because once you learn the framework of how to raise your self-awareness and what to do in the moments that you become aware of a part of yourself, how to bring that part of yourself in and integrate that part of yourself, which is what we're calling healing, but healing is so much more. That is the path to go down to create the reality that you want to create. And honestly, it feels 1,000 times better. If you want to learn more about the importance of self-awareness and how to get to these parts of yourself in order to meet their needs, then you can watch my free masterclass. I'll put the link for that in the description just below. We've also started a community. It's called the Mind Matters Self-Development Center. This is a portal where I create challenges, exclusive videos. I chat with you guys. I go on lives. We do workshops. This is something that's going to be continuously added to. If you want to join that community, again, the link for that will be in the description. My job is to empower you, and I don't do that by giving you power. I do that by showing you that that power has been there this whole time. You have the ability to create any life that you want. It's just about learning how to do it. Have a great day.